Hey there, and welcome to today's class. Today we'll be doing a full body yoga routine just to make sure we can hit every little nook and cranny in our bodies and get a nice little stretch going. So we're going to begin in a child's pose. So with our knees as wide as the mat and our big toes touching, we're just going to lay our chest and our forehead down in front of us with our arms laying out in front, resting our forehead onto the mat. Let's just take the next few moments just to settle in. Bring our focus to our breath as we just clear out our minds and forget about all of our stresses and strains outside of the mat. Taking a nice deep breath in through the nose and breathing out either through the nose or the mouth. Another breath in and relaxing breath out. And then with your hands, you can just crawl them out in front of you a little bit further forward, just to get a little bit of an extra lengthening going on in your spine. And maybe if your shoulders are feeling fine, you can even taint your fingers up, bringing them up and raising your shoulders, just to get that little bit of an extra stretch in your shoulders and your back. And then from your child's pose, you can start pushing yourself up, coming into your hands and knees for a tabletop. And from here, we can begin by going into circular motions over our wrists just to warm them up. Just moving in the one direction, starting off small, and slowly making our circle bigger and bigger as we go, before changing over in the other direction. And then coming back to stillness, we're going to go into some cat-cows. So taking a breath in, we're going to raise our chin up, dipping our belly down, looking to see if we can get as high as we can. And then on your exhale, bringing chin to chest as you round your back out, seeing if you can maybe look towards your belly button. Inhale to come down into our cow. And exhale to round out into the cat. Just going through our motions back and forth, focusing on linking our movements with our breath. Going through one last round. And then coming back to a neutral spine, we can just lean ourselves forward, coming to lay onto our stomachs. And with our forearms out in front of us, we can just come meet into a sphinx, raising our chest up, rolling our shoulders back away from our ears. And then from our Sphinx pose, we can bring our hands back below our shoulders as we tuck our back toes, just to raise our hips up and pushing back into our first downward facing dog. In our down dog, we can just come to settle in, maybe walking our feet closer if we can, pedaling our dog out, bringing one heel down at a time, keeping a nice gentle bend in our knees. And beginning with our right foot, we're going to take a breath in as we raise our right leg up, coming into a three-legged dog, keeping that leg straight as you can. And then on your exhale, you're going to bring your right foot forward, placing it between your hands as you drop your back knee, coming into a low crescent lunge. And with our hands up above our head, we can cactus them out to the side before gently leaning back, letting our head fall into a back bend. And straightening ourselves back out. Then walk our front foot slightly forward as we push our hips back towards our back heel, straightening our leg out to come into a half splits. And then once we got a nice little balance, we can just sink our chest forward, bringing us close to our front leg as we can. And then rebending our front leg, bringing our left hand next to our right foot. We're going to open our chest out to the right, raising our right hand up. And maybe with the added option of bringing our back knee up to come into a twist. And just keeping your right hand up, or you can do a half bind behind your back just to really roll that right shoulder out. And twisting back to face the mat, bringing your right hand down. So we bring our legs back together, coming into a high plank. So we hold here for breath in. And then on our exhale, we can drop our knees down to the mat before bringing our chest and our chin down. And then once we're laying down, we can raise our chest up and then floating our hands up off the mat, coming into a baby cobra. Before exhaling, bring your hands back down to mat as we come back into our downward dog. And then moving on to the other side, inhale, left leg going up nice and high. Before exhaling, foot between your hands, dropping your back knee into your low lunge. And then cactusing your arms out to the side, going into your back bend. And straightening ourselves back out. Heel turning your left foot slightly forward. Just straighten our leg out, push our hips back to come into our half splits. And rebending your left leg, bring your right hand next to your left foot as we open our chest out to the left, raising our back leg up if you need to the option. And once more, either keeping your left hand up or doing a half bind behind your back. Bring your left hand back down to the mat, stepping back into a high plank, holding to breathe in. Exhale to lower down with the option of to keep dropping your knees once more, or you can keep them up straight. Bring our chest and our chin down. Inhale with our hands still below our shoulders, pushing your chest up into a cobra before exhaling back into our downward dog. Moving back, taking a breath in to raise our right leg up, and then open our hips out to the right, stacking our hips on top of each other as we bend our right leg, holding here for a breath in, before exhaling, bring our right foot next to our right hand to come into a lizard, keeping our left knee up off the mat. We're just going to hold here for a few breaths, just noticing a nice little stretch in our hips. And from your lizard, you're going to place your right elbow onto your right knee and twisting, dropping your back heel. You can open your chest out to the left, throwing your left hand over your head, coming into an extended side angle. And then from your extended side angle, you're going to push yourself up, coming into a warrior two, making a nice straight line from your front fingers to the back. Really pushing your hips forward, making sure your front knee is over your front ankle. And from your warrior two, you're going to straighten your front leg out. And then with your right hand, you're going to bring it down to your shins or your ankle. And with your left hand, you're going to bring it up, keeping your hands in line to come into a triangle pose. And then push yourself back up into your standing. You're going to bring your left hand behind your back for half bind. With your right hand, you're just going to throw it over your head to come into a variation of reverse warrior. And then coming back into your beginning of the triangle, and bring both hands back down to mat, stepping back into your plank, holding here for a breath in, then exhale to lower down, inhale to raise your chest up into a cobra, maybe even raise your thighs up for an upward dog, before exhaling back into your downward dog. Taking a breath in, raising the left leg up nice and high, keeping that leg straight. And then stacking your left hip over your right, bending your left knee, holding here for a breath in. Before exhaling, left foot next to your left hand to come into your lizard. Then placing your left elbow onto your left knee, raising your chest up, opening it out to the right as we open up into our extended side angle. Pushing up into your warrior two, keeping your front knee bent to make sure to gaze over our front fingers in our warrior two. And straightening our front leg out, we flip our palms to the side of the mat as we bring our left hand down to our shins and bring our right hand up, making sure to keep our chest nice and open into our triangle. And then bring your chest back up, doing a half bind behind your back with your right hand and with your left hand throwing it over your head to come into our variation of reverse warrior. Bring your hands back in line and the cartwheel hands all the way back down to the mat, stepping once more back into our plank. And for the last time, holding to breathe in. Exhale to chaturanga down. Inhale for your back bend of choice. Before exhaling back into your downward dog. And from your down dog, you can walk your hands to the back of the mat, coming to meet me in a forward fold. And here we can just hang out for a few moments, just maybe swaying our bodies from side to side, maybe bending one leg at a time, just feeling a nice little stretch in the backs of our legs. And then coming back to center, we can take a breath in, raising our chest up halfway, keeping our back nice and straight. Before exhaling back into our forward fold. And keeping your chin tucked into your chest, rolling yourself up one vertebra at a time to come into a full standing. And I'm going to go into a tree pose where you have a couple options on how you can approach it. So to begin, you can either choose to put all the weight onto your right foot, and choosing either to place your left foot either onto your right ankle, or if you're feeling nice and stable, you can raise your left foot up just to give it an extra challenge, bringing it just below your right knee. And if you're still feeling confident, you can bring it all the way up so your foot is going right against your right thigh. And then bringing your palms together up to your chest. And just find a spot in front of you just to focus on to help with the balance. Holding for one more breath in. And then on your exhale, you can drop your left foot down and we can move on to the other side. So with your left foot grounded, you're going to place your right ankle onto your right foot onto your left ankle. If you're feeling stable, bring it a little bit higher, just below your knee. If you still feel confident about it, you can bring it all the way up against your left thigh. Then with your hands by your chest, holding here for your balance. Holding for one final breath in. And then exhale, bring your right foot down. You can meet in a seated position. Keeping your left leg extended out in front of you, you're going to place your right foot just outside of your left leg. And you have the option to either keep your left leg straight or you can bend it into your so your foot is right next to your right bum cheek. And then from here, we're going to wrap our left arm over our right leg and going into a spinal twist, placing our right hand just behind us for assistance. We gently pull our right shoulder as far back as we can, maybe even turn our head to gaze behind us. And then coming back out of our twist, we can swap our legs over to the other side. So extending our right leg out and placing our left foot just outside of our right leg and choosing either to keep our right leg straight or bending it, bring it right next to our left bum cheek with our right hand wrapping it around our right leg, left hand just behind for support as we take a breath in to prepare and exhale into our twist. And releasing ourselves from our twist, you can meet me laying on your back. And then keeping your left leg straight, we're going to hug our right knee into our chest and just going through some circular motions with our knee, giving ourselves a nice little gentle hip massage as we move in the one direction before changing over in the other. Before releasing our right hand out to the side, we use our left to pull our right leg over to the left side, coming into a supine twist. Focusing on keeping our right shoulder grounded as we lay our left hand down. And you have the added option to maybe turn your head to gaze to the right. Bring your head and your leg back to center. We can swap on over to the other side. So right leg straight, hugging your left knee into your chest. Going through some nice circular motions with your knee in the one direction. And then changing over the other. Before pulling your left leg over to the right and laying your left hand out to the side and turn your head to gaze to the left. And then bringing your head and your legs back to center. And straighten our left leg out, bring our legs together as we lay our arms by our sides. And you can meet me in our Shavasana. Here you can just completely relax. Clear out your mind as you just relax every muscle, tendon, and bone in your body. Allow your body to breathe for you. As you just clear out your mind and drift away. Then taking a nice deep breath in through the nose, like we did in the beginning. And an audible sigh out through the mouth. Can start waking our body up, wiggling our fingers and toes, moving our wrists and ankles. Just gently taking note on how we're feeling, every sensation in our skin, in our fingers and toes. And then choosing to either stay laying on your back or you can turn over onto your side, keeping your eyes closed. You just take a moment just to reflect on the practice, checking in on how we feel. And choosing to either stay laying on your side or you can push yourself to meet in a seated position. And you just take a moment just to meditate. Give ourselves a moment of gratitude. Maybe even giving ourselves a little mental pat on the back for making time for ourselves and looking after ourselves. And finally, we can take one final breath in as we bring our palms together up to heart center. And exhale as we bow to close our practice. I hope you all enjoyed that. Hope you found some benefits, something you can incorporate into your daily lives, into your daily practice. Please let me know in the comments if there's anything else you would like me to do. And I hope to see you again soon on the yoga mat.